In the first place, coming to the conference, first for me, going to the police station, the headquarters of the Provincial police, having all the thoughts about the police, but, and then coming into that space and then seeing a different, being given a different image of the police. That was powerful because, we've experienced, not only, what they said, but also the presence of God was so tangible. And, that coming from the police itself, I've realized, that was, for me personally, there was a change, brought a change for me in my understanding, of my view about the police. So the whole experience for me personally, it was life-changing because I was challenged in so many areas, I think, just leaving today, I'm going away from, I'm leaving Cape Town with, with a different attitude, and that is important for me, knowing that, I need to look more closely at things, and, sometimes we will judge, things that we don't understand.
Yeah.
And so that for me is key now, that I need to get myself involved. There's the shelters, and also the work that the police are doing. Not because so often we are too critical, and we don't go into their space and try to understand what they are going through. And so for me personally, I've experienced it. So yeah, it was great for me to be here. I think number one is, I think, as a religious leaders, we don't work together. We don't work together as often as we should. And also the thing is, GBV is like many pastors said this week, it's not something that are addressed when you are in Bible school and stuff like that. So I think in our own space, we need to get more involved. We need to get more involved with programs that is doing this kind of work. And I think, our own lack of being involved in those spaces, I think, we need to step up in that area. I think from a personal, just space, I think, getting involved, or let me say this first. I think, if we understand our sacred responsibility, it is to walk worthy of the calling that God has placed upon us. And sometimes, when we look at Ephesians 4, sometimes our role, our position as pastors are sometimes more important, than to walk worthy of the calling. And so sometimes even when we address GBV, we need to be in a place where we are not the perpetrators.
Yeah.
And sometimes there is a huge problem in our communities that pastors don't walk accordingly. And so if we want to address GBV, then we need to start with ourselves. We need to see whether we are not perpetrators, coming into spaces like that and then be the abuser. And every Sunday we understand on our pulpits and preach, but behind the scenes we are those who can't be entrusted. And so in just coming back to that question is, I want to be in a place where people can trust me, because our communities doesn't trust pastors.
Yeah.
And so if we can't be trusted, how can we help people who are going through that? Because the thing also is, if people come to us with those kind of challenges, if they can't trust us with that information, and we share that with other people, that's a huge problem for me. And so I think, addressing, curbing GBV in our own communities, we need to start with the religious leaders. We need to be more respectful towards, people, and, helping them through that process means also that we need to be, that second responsibility. It's a high calling, that God entrusts us with. So we need to be trustworthy. You know, people need to trust us.